Okay, we are recording.
I'm having official
Alright,
YouTube
sweet.
opening
Okay.
because this is my first video. This is my first video, and like you may have noticed, years since the last video was posted because I just did that from my phone, and also official started my channel. So hi, I'm Dimitri. This is Nikki. I'm gonna introduce you. Well, this is Tracy.
How's it going? My YouTube channel, shameless self-promote MTG Goddess. I'm pretty okay.
Really awesome. You should check her out. I'm there sometimes also.
Yeah.
Nikki and I are trans. He, him.
She, hers.
You can talk for
I'm
yourself
just
now.
a-
I give you permission.
I figured.
I'm just a casual, straight girl, white. Hi.
But she has nice hair.
Thanks.
So we're here to talk about representation.
Alright, Coach, why is representation important?
Coach.
You're coach. Everyone's coach to me.
Coach. I watched a video. I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to send you there.
Don't want to lose the brains.
Oh, guys.
But somebody on the internet said some bad things. Shocker, right? And in response to I think BuzzFeed. Look at
Sorry, I was looking at the time, so just proceed.
In response to I think BuzzFeed article that was like 9 things straight white gamers don't get about video games. This is about why representation was important in video games. This guy was basically like, representation isn't important, it's pandering. And also, why care about people who aren't me?
It went on for 20 minutes because he likes the way he talks.
Yes, and if you reply to comments, if you leave comments, he talks to you like he's a Sonic villain. He's one of those guys. So, representation is important and it's not pandering because people exist.
I don't think you should insult Metal Sonic that way.
I'm sorry.
Like, I a lot of times I'll be like, because I'm an English education major, and I'll like be thinking about like why we need to learn about other people. And like, I can't think of like a better argument than just like, we just do. We just need to like understand other people, and we just need to like, because people exist, and we need to represent them. Like, I don't want every single video game that you play to have a white, assumedly straight male protagonist. We need to have diversity in terms of race, in terms of sex, in terms of other things that I can't think of right now, but you know, all of those things. Sexuality, like religion, anything. Because there's not one type of person.
Come up in a video game.
I have no idea. Maybe it's relevant. It could be.
I mean, I could talk all day about Dragon Age. Just ask Tracy. I absolutely will.
Dragon Age is great.
And that whole thing has a religion about how the way it treats the Chantry religion versus the way it treats the Dalish religion. And the Dalish are based on Jews and Romani, and the Chantry is based on Christianity.
Yeah.
So the way it treats that alone, because it says enough, but we're not here to talk about religion. I also want to say that we're going to talk about race, but the 3 of us are white, and we don't want to talk over anybody.
Yeah.
So we're gonna mostly focus on LGBT stuff,
Plus
stuff, and we're also gonna, if I say LGBT, it's just because it's faster for me to say.
But it encompasses everyone.
But
Everyone.
everyone.
Yeah.
And if we say something you disagree with, let us know. Basically, his main argument was, why does it matter, and why can't you just leave it ambiguous and not tell gamers if, like, why do you have to say that the character is gay or straight if it's not a romance thing, and why does a character have to be white or black? And it's like, because if you don't specifically come out and say it, gamers assume that they're what they consider the default, which is straight, white, and cis.
Yeah.
You've been very quiet. Do you have anything to add?
Like I said, I'll just comment when stuff comes
Okay.
up.
Tracy and I sat down and like took notes on this before.
We had like an hour-long conversation
Yeah.
about this. Actually, it was really sweet. And the first thing one of the first things that I wrote down that we brought up is, you know, we're gonna be talking about video games, but like also like TV shows and like movies and like everything.
It's all
basically.
media.
It's all media, pretty much. So like
Yeah.
one show that I really love is How to Get Away with Murder. Have you seen How to Get
I
Away
have
with
not.
Murder? Okay,
You
you need to. It's really great. So
It's really
first
great.
off, the big thing about the
It's
show
on
is
Netflix.
you have on Netflix. Great. The first thing about the show is that you have a strong female lead who's black. Like, that is just such a huge step for the, like, community, basically. And she's awesome.
She's also sexual without being sexualized,
Yes.
and feminine without giving up any of her strong qualities. And very clearly in charge of almost all situations.
Viola Davis's character is just, she's the main character, and she's a great, and then you also have the character Wes, who's I guess sort of like he's the main character, I guess. I don't know, they're both kind of like the main character.
He's the protagonist.
But he's like the main protagonist, and he is played by Alfred, I can't think of his last name right now, but he was in the Harry Potter movies. Dimitri's gonna look it up on his phone. But
I know names of people.
yeah, so like basically that's one really solid thing that the show does, is it has a wide, range of people in terms of color, along with you have Connor, who's one of the show's secondary protagonists, and he is a gay character, and the relationship with his boyfriend Oliver is very like explicit. Alfred Enoch, he was in the Harry Potter movies. He played Dean Thomas. But yeah, like that, like Connor and Oliver's relationship is really important because one of the producers of the show actually was like commenting on it, and he was like, "Oh, I don't write I don't write these two characters as being gay characters. I write them as characters." It was really, really important.
One of my favorite things about that character is that he's gay. His character being about that he's gay.
Yes.
He doesn't have a coming out story in the thing. He doesn't have gay drama. He has relationship drama, but it's not based on that, and it's handled very naturally in the show.
We were talking about this in terms of like a lot of times when you see, I feel like especially like YA books, like young adult literature and things like that, like targeted at like the youth, it's all of like, oh, we have this gay character and the reason why they have issues is because they're gay. And it's, like, I understand that has its place because that does come up and that is a fair point. However, every single time you hear a story about it, it's always, well, I'm gay and I have issues about that because I'm gay. It's not like I have issues about this thing that other people have issues about. Like, everyone has issues about relationship. That's not a gay thing. It's just a people thing. That's just something that relates to like everyone.
Have you seen Jessica Jones?
I feel like I need to because I feel like that show
What is
is
wrong
me
with
in
you?
a show. Like,
It's a show
You really do.
I know, I need to sit down
And
and
they
watch
also have a female relationship, which is a similar thing, in which, yes, they have drama, but it's not about them being gay.
Yeah.
They
That's
have.
And
Marriage
granted, the
problem.
character's a fucking bitch.
Yeah,
but
she's.
still.
I actually don't like her at all. but she's a well-written character in that you're not really supposed to like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't because that's how she was written. But it has nothing to do with her sexuality because I'm a good person. I was gonna say something. Oh, I was gonna bring this back to video games.
Oh yeah, sorry.
About the gay characters always have the coming out story as their only story. Dorian from Dragon Age, because I could talk about Dragon Age forever. His big personal quest is you find out his father tried to use blood magic on him to make him not gay. And when this didn't work, Dorian ran away from the family, basically, and left the family. And it's written fairly well. Dragon Age has a lot of problems with their writing, especially in Inquisition. And that's coming from a fan, but especially in whole different video.
There's your second video right
Yeah. Dorian's main backstory is that he has the coming out story that it didn't work and he had to leave. And it's not the only part of his character. He's a great character and his voice actor is amazing and he's animated quite well, I must say. But that's like not the first thing, but his personal quest is his coming out story. And it's
Kind of annoying.
we've had other bisexual characters in Dragon Age. I don't know, have you played Dragon Age?
My mom's obsessed with it, so I
Your
wind up
mom
knowing just
is
about
obsessed with
Yes,
Dragon-
she's obsessed with
That's
Dragon Age.
amazing.
She's obsessed with
That's so
Skyrim.
funny.
She's obsessed with Fallout. So she wrote a book, and she used the $4,000 royalty check, spent all of it on a maxed out gaming laptop.
I love it. That's me right there.
So whatever floats
Her
your
hair
boat,
is
man.
blue. She like cosplays for Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's
Meet
great.
your
Can I
mom
be
in my
your
next
mom?
video. Anyway,
Sure.
Dragon Age 2 had a bunch of bisexual characters. None of their backstories were about coming out. You could argue that Anders had some stuff with the Templars, but again, whole different video about him and the Templars. But I can talk about Dragon Age forever.
Yo, I'm gonna say that another thing about Dragon Age though, and this actually kind of relates to like a general note, is the fact that I love video games where you can romance anyone and
Yeah.
it is not restricted to like sex at all. The Sims is actually a really solid
Yes,
example of this. In
actually.
The Sims, you're like, yo, I'm a girl and I'm gonna romance another girl. The Sims is like, alright, cool, whatever. Like the Sims just doesn't care about anything.
Which
I
is-
feel they're just like set things on fire, everything's
Which
fine.
is great because a
Drown
game,
them in your pool.
Listen, it's alright, it's a Sim.
a game in which you have sex like going under the covers and I guess pillow fighting is what it looks like.
Yes.
Should let you just do that with anybody. Also,
Yeah.
you can get impregnated by aliens, so.
And ghosts.
Whatever.
And
Whatever.
didn't somebody say that they actually glitched so that they could marry the Grim Reaper?
Yes.
Yo, that's awesome.
Which apparently quite a looker, that guy.
Anyways, that's not the point. So yeah, I really love that in the games. A game that I'm playing right now is called Stardew Valley, which everyone makes fun of me for because they're like, it's like Farmville, Tracy, and I'm like, no, it's like this game and you own a farm and it's nothing to do with Farmville. It's a fun game.
There's a corporation
Oh,
takeover.
This game is sweet. It's on Steam if you have that. It's a really fun game. Anyways, that's the game as well where you can romance.
Yes.
That's a game where you can romance anyone basically in the story, and that is just super awesome. And is it Undertale? I haven't played this one, but you have no
Undertale. Yeah, Undertale, Frisk, the main character, doesn't have an assigned gender. They never talk about Frisk's gender throughout the thing. You play as... It's told in the first person, and, you know, it's not the first person's second... It says you instead of other pronouns. Doesn't have a gender, and you could go on a date with Papyrus, which, you make spaghetti, and it's pretty great.
That's sweet.
It's a great thing. Which, that is, I think, less let's put a non-binary character as the main character in a video game, and more let's make a character that can be interpreted either way so that the player can tell us in the game.
Yeah.
Which is a great way to do gaming. And there are a lot of people that have interpreted it that way as the character being non-binary, and because the character is supposed to be the player, that works still. Because guess what? Non-binary game players exist.
What's the company that makes the Dragon Age games?
BioWare.
Yeah, BioWare also did the Old Republic MMO, and in it you can actually romance bisexual characters, and it's nice because they all have their personal quests like Dragon Age. And none of them are about coming out, and
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
really nice and helpful.
Dragon Age 2 was almost every character was bisexual. With I'm trying to think. I think only Sebastian you couldn't romance as homosexual, which you.
I just had a
anyway.
major crush on Isabella just throughout Isabella's bae.
Yes,
Isabella is bae.
But you could romance all of them, and they all had their personal quests, and none of them were about that. Dragon Age Inquisition messed up a lot of things. For starters, they forgot a moon, guys. Thetis has 2 moons. They forgot one.
Alright.
Okay, so I don't know if that necessarily relates. I was gonna say something
Represent
about
both
in
moods.
response to what Dimitri just said, and I can't think about it, and that's bothering me.
You have the notes. We have notes.
I do. Okay, I'll bring this category up because this video is all over the place, but whatever. Okay, this
We can edit it into 2 videos.
bothers me. Yes, we can. This bothers me. Okay, you go on Netflix, right? Netflix is great. We all love Netflix,
Oh yeah,
right?
Netflix.
Yeah. Okay.
Netflix is-
So Netflix is sweet, right?
Netflix is
However,
right now.
it's
You're doing throttling.
it's what?
Don't worry about it, we'll talk about it afterwards.
Keep going.
Okay. Whatever.
Also,
so,
isn't it Transvisibility Day?
That's tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, tomorrow's Transvisibility Day on
Wait,
day
where?
of recording. I don't know when this video will be up, but
that's just
notice us.
And so, like, that can give you an idea of when this was filmed. So.
Okay, go ahead.
okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Netflix. Yeah. Okay. So the thing that really one thing that really bothers me on Netflix, there's not many things, but the fact, well, there's a lot of things, because I always want to watch something, and it's never on Netflix when I watch it, because I get movie cravings where I really want to watch something, and then I can't find it. It bothers me.
I'm constantly watching House on Netflix. If they ever took House off Netflix, I don't know what I'd do.
The show is awesome.
Also had a bisexual character in it. Anyway.
Anyways, okay, the thing that Netflix does is they have an LGBT category.
Well, no, they have a gay and lesbian category.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's called gay and lesbian category. Sorry, it doesn't even go that far as to, have those other words in there. Okay, so basically, I'm like, oh, so why don't we have the straight category then? If we have that category, we just assume that everything else is straight, because like if you haven't announced the fact that you're like gay, you always have to like come out if you're gay. Why do you have to come out if you're straight? Because everyone always assumes that you're straight. That's like the default, and that's just like, I can curse on this channel. This is bullshit. I can't curse on my other channel. This is bullshit though.
I was gonna say something in response to you, literally 2 seconds. Something you said 2 seconds ago, and I already forgot it.
I don't know what I said. Something about the Netflix thing. The categories and how we assume people are straight, and
No.
the thing. Okay.
It'll come back to me.
Did you have something to say?
No.
Okay.
I'm just going along. I'll say if I have anything.
Sherlock and Watson. Okay, this is one thing that really, really bothers me. Is like yes, we'll be like, oh, I think this couple is really cute, and people are like, yeah, but it's not canon, so and we're like, well, we think these characters are gay, and they're like, well, they're not, because they have to be announced if they're gay or
Yeah, that's
not.
what I was talking about, I think earlier in the video.
Yeah.
I don't even remember when we first filmed. That's how
know.
tired we are. It's assumed straight until proven gay is the thing that I found online.
Straight until proven gay. Yeah, basically. But there has to be that announcement. There has to be like that. Like, okay, if you know things, like if you've seen BBC Sherlock, they're gay for each other. Like, how can they not? They're just gay. Like, just watch the show.
Same with Dean and Castiel and Supernatural.
Look, let's be real. Even in the original books,
come on. And then people are like, there's no way that they can be. Why not? Why not?
like you have that voice when it really should be a deeper fucking.
That's like my. I don't even know. Like, that's like my prim and proper voice. I don't know.
Except
No idea.
these comments are usually coming from the generation we call.
So why can't they be gay? That's like my douchebag voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm not looking at the camera a lot, it's because there's a lot of things on the table that are distracting me. Like, there's a box of dental cleaner over there.
More importantly, there's
I know,
Eldrazi.
and yes, and
Magic
there's
cards.
magic cards over there that there's a very pretty token. It's not that I don't respect you, viewers, all of 3 of you that exist.
Don't worry, I'm gonna make this video YouTube famous. It's gonna be great.
That's fantastic.
I'm gonna
Then I'll get all of your
try. Yes!
I'll get all of your followers, and then I'll never post anything about magic, and they'll leave.
No, post videos about magic. Magic's great.
Post videos.
You know what I
about
feel like this
trans
feels
things.
like? Have you guys heard of Magic the Amateuring before?
No.
It's like a podcast, and it's just like these 2 girls, and they just like talk, and it's not like a set like we talk about this then and this then. They just talk.
That's
what
like,
this feels like right now.
I'm really into Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter, and they have a bunch of
Okay.
podcasts where they're like,
Oh, sweet.
they have a couple of topics where beforehand they're like, oh, we're going to talk about this and this. And,
Yeah.
But for the most part, they just go with the conversation, which I can do tons of videos like this every once in a while.
Can we just talk about how I'm really happy that the strongest Eldrazi is a female?
Yes!
Oh, dude, I thought you were
Talking
talking about magic, and I was
Yes!
like, that's really
I
good.
was
Yes,
like,
that relates.
I was like, representation, Eldrazi, let's talk about that. Magic the Gathering. We're really into Magic the Gathering.
I have a channel
And
about it. Like,
They are, no company is a perfect company. But Magic has been really good lately about moving towards being a representative and inclusive company. A lot more card art has less white people on it, which is great. Not to say that it's perfect, but a lot.
it's getting there.
There was a canon trans character in a major character, a legendary creature. For those of you who don't know Magic, that's a big fucking deal.
For that matter,
Trans
there are no white planeswalkers that are home to Mirrodin. The only
Yeah.
ones are Koth and Karn.
Yeah. Well, you still played her base in somewhere else, and
Well, so Koth, but
our main cast is still mostly white, but getting there. It's okay.
Yeah. And there's a character.
We have transgender. We don't have openly gay characters yet, but a lot of people think Jace is bi, and Wizards is pretty good, but they have a lot of people on their PR stuff, like on Twitter, on Tumblr, whenever people are like doing shippy stuff, they're always like, yeah, sure, character.
Narset
Narset
has
she's autistic.
She's autistic, yeah. That's huge. That is just crazy huge. You have this character who, putting it in like terms for people who don't understand Magic, you have this very in the sets that come out, like the cards, you have these very iconic characters that you see throughout, and these very popular cards. And this character in our set,
we're talking about Tarkir was a big deal because not a lot of white main characters in that.
Yeah.
And that's when we have our trans characters. That's when we had Narset.
Yeah.
Sarkhan's Asian. Sarkhan's Asian.
Yes,
Ashiok is
confirms no gender.
Confirms no gender, so it's really interesting when people will talk about the card, they'll be like she, he, and I'm like, well, we don't know their gender.
Ashiok wants no pronouns, only your fear.
And that was really nice that Elspeth basically broke stereotypes on Theros. Because her being the strong female lead and the hero of the plane, and then she actually sacrificed herself to save Daxos because she killed Daxos.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So lots of strong female characters, more now than before. Again, they're getting, and there's the thing that Nikki mentioned in the first place that spawned this conversation, the strongest Eldrazi, which if you don't know Magic, Eldrazi is this huge tentacle monster. Basically, Emrakul is confirmed he uses female pronouns. So, the giant sky tentacle monster that can destroy worlds, a girl, deal with it.
Basically.
Well, Chandra being the one out of 4 frickin' planeswalkers, the only one that managed to be Ob Nixilis.
Yes, Chandra, well, they took him down together, but she was the one who was like, hey, stop being on my friends.
Well, he beat the crap out of all of them, and then Chandra showed up.
I'm gonna put this out again on video. I've said it to them a bunch of times. Every single planeswalker, regardless of gender, has been distracted by Gideon's hot bod.
I'm waiting for it to happen with Bolas.
I love it. It happened with Ob Nixilis. I'm waiting for Ugin. I think he did actually mention something about...
He might have.
Something about Gideon having an impressive stature. Chandra, though, segue again, but Chandra, when Ugin came down and Chandra was 2 broken legs, but will still fight a dragon, brah. Love her. But yeah, right?
I feel honestly,
Chandra's supposed to be...
A lot of the female characters are more assertive and aggressive than the male characters in Magic. If you think about all the planeswalkers.
Absolutely, Jason's a wimp.
Yeah.
Jason's a wimp, Gideon just follows around and gets told what to do, and half of the time it's
Gideon's a leader, but he's...
But half of the time he's being controlled by something evil.
Gideon?
Something's misleading him.
Not Gideon.
Yes, that happens a lot. That's what happened in Chandra's book.
Yeah, well that's Bolas, but that's the only time. A lot of other times he's supposed to be the leader, but what he'll do is he delegates a lot, which is what Jace talked about when he was talking to Gideon, was he'll make you realize what you have to do by yourself, and he'll let you go do it by yourself if you have to. And he trusts Chandra and Nissa and Kiora to do their own thing, because they could kill him very easily. Kiora also, giant tentacle monster. She makes krakens and octopus. They're octopi. She's awesome.
And then also with
this is me pre-alcohol.
Yeah, Liliana. Elspeth is by far one of the strongest female characters.
But she's dead.
I will punch you.
I think what we're really getting at here, though, is the fact that this very popular, Magic is a very popular game, and it's a very male-dominated game. However, there are definitely female members that are coming through.
I remember when the trans character story came out, the way me and my friends flipped out.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was such a huge deal for us, especially in a world that doesn't have transitional surgery. A world that doesn't have transitional surgery. It was a character who was trans, who was accepted as their gender without having to do transitional surgery.
Okay, yes, go Tracy.
Okay, cool. Hi, I wanted to say this thing because this is the thing that I was going to say before I forgot. Okay, let's talk about the Barbie dolls that came out. Do you guys hear about
Yes,
that?
I saw that.
Okay, so like you have, again, Barbie's similar as Magic. You have this huge corporation, this very vastly known corporation. Like,
Started by Jew.
you know.
Just saying.
Yes, real talk, representation, let's go. So the fact that you have,
Jewish. I don't know if you can see my keep at this angle. I don't actually know what we look like, but
we're like small little like ants or whatever. No, so you have Barbie dolls, which are vastly popular, and then you have.
nothing. Continue.
Are you making fun of my diction?
Yes.
Okay.
Continue.
And you have this huge corporation who just came out with these Barbie dolls in all more shapes and sizes than just the default. Which, I mean, there's been a lot of controversies with Barbie dolls anyway, but like one of them is that she's just ridiculously thin, like unrealistically thin.
Right.
So if you were to take her portions, like made her into a woman, she would just die because she would just have like no bones or whatever, or like her body would be like crushing her bones.
We talked about this in my home family class. Even the new Barbies aren't perfect. They're still like they all have the same face and.
But they're trying.
But it's a big step forward to start having
it's a big
different
step
skin
forward.
tones, the different hairs, the
Skin tones,
sizes.
the body figure, like the body
Yeah.
shape, you know, not painting like this perfect like
And-
image of the ideal woman.
Some people who are dumb may say that this is just the company pandering to those groups, which even if it is because they want to make more money off the dolls, which that's what a corporation is, corporations made of people. And if this is what people want, and that's what they're getting, that's great. I don't care if it's pandering. If someone finally gets to see a doll that looks like them after never finding one, I don't care what the reason is. That's fantastic.
And it's gonna make them happier and like
Yes.
it's more important.
I keep thinking about I don't even remember when this was. This was a while back when I read it, but like watched it. There's this very short video clip. If I can find it, I'll like send it to you. But it's basically like of these little girls and they're like looking at the dolls and they have like a black doll and a white doll and they say like what doll. They ask the kids a bunch of questions like and they ask them to point to the dolls and it's like what doll is the prettier one and they'll point to the white doll and then and all this stuff and it's crazy like these small kids like are saying like all these things like white is good and like black is bad and like you know.
It's so many stories have come out about the release of the new Barbie dolls with all these little kids who are like, this doll looks like me and that's great.
Yeah.
Like it makes them so happy and like they're still young, a lot of these girls, and they don't really realize how fucked up their situation is going to be. But they're starting already to get that mental training and it's anything we can do to make that better is great, which this someone who has a child doesn't get. There was another thing that went with Overwatch. I'm going to segue again for a second. I apologize.
Okay, this video's all over the place.
My channel. At time of recording, there's the whole Overwatch thing that's happening. There's a pose of a character standing with her butt to the camera, basically, and she was drawn in a very, not a very sexual manner, but in that it was clearly an eye candy pose. And somebody posted on a feedback forum about how they didn't like the pose because they thought it was dishonest to the character, and they didn't like the example of setting. They didn't like their daughter seeing that, and I forgot exactly they phrased it, but the person whose video I watched on this took that to mean that their child couldn't see sexual stuff like this, which is not what I think was happening. It's that this little girl is going to see other girls being sexualized everywhere.
Yeah.
It'd be great if a character who's supposed to be a fighter and a warrior wasn't also being sexualized.
Yeah.
And she could find that one place to escape it. And I don't think the pose is that bad, but if they were that willing to remove it, fine. They already said they're going to replace it. Again, their sexualization is everywhere for girls, and if there's anywhere that we can lessen it, great.
And sorry to go back to the whole magic conversation, but that's another thing that I really like about the characters is they're really not sexualized.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at Elspeth, she has full armor. Like, it's not like, oh, chainmail bikini.
Yeah, they've also done better about that lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at some of the old art, it's pretty
The
bad.
old art is actually
Chandra, they
pretty well done.
completely changed her armor
Yeah.
to cover her more. Lily, still sexual.
But Lily's supposed to be that
Like,
way.
she-
Her
that
character
way.
is
But
that
yeah.
way.
she's a. s-
That's her character.
She's sexy herself.
Yeah.
But that being said, she's still written very much for the male gaze.
I can see that. Yeah.
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 Also, Lizzie, if you watch this, I texted you during this video.
What was I gonna say? Yo, there were so many good points, and I wanted to respond to them.
We're sorry this seems unprofessional, but also I'm not getting paid for this. So.
You know what? Whatever.